up, everybody? Welcome back to New Live Hashtag Lit. I'm your host, New Live. I gotta stop saying that too, because I told y'all I do I know how to create content on YouTube while watching Troy Terrain Star Report, and y'all should go subscribe to him too. It's the Star Report, and he says that. So for me, it comes so much, I just picked that up. So I gotta stop saying it. Now, let's get to the topics. One, the Sixers get embarrassed by Portland. And I did a stream yesterday, and it was a good stream. It was very good. It was that's the most I ever did on a live. I did like 167 views, and I never do that. I always do like 108, 122. So it was a good one. And a friend of mine said, yo, it seemed like that's your niche right there. You know, talking about, you know, what addiction does. I said, yeah, but I can talk about that in episodes, but also we'll talk about other things. I won't make it just about like just addiction. You know, I was watching this video, and there was a man, like I don't know if it was like he was in a regular facility, but it looked like a holding facility, or like, no, it was jail. He was in prison. This man had 32 years to life. Well, 32 years. He was serving 32 years. And it's a female, I don't know what officer, whether it's an officer. She was in a white shirt. And she said, you could see that he was getting heated. And he was like, you woke me up out of my sleep, you know, because somebody was laughing at you. You know, and she was like, he was trying to, he was like, I'm not disrespecting you. You know, and she was like, stay past, he was like, she like, move back. He like, I'm right at the red line. And she like, I don't give a F about that red line. But she started taking it there. And she was like, okay. And he said something to her. And she like, turn around and get cuffed. And he like, you don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. How did I disrespect you? How did I disrespect you? She like, turn around and get cuffed. He like, you don't want to do that. And she took the mace out. You could see the mace in her hand. So as the mace is in her hand, he keep telling her like, you don't want to do that, you know, because I was supposed to let the fire truck go. He kept telling her like, you don't want to do that, and like she was in her emotions, you know. She sprayed them. As she sprayed, he cocked back, boom. I mean, he like put her down. The other guard to grab him. Other guard, like, he's too strong for that female guard to hold him, the second one. So he just holding her with one hand, and he's stomping the other girl out the window, talking crazy to him. I mean, and then you hear her down there crying, like they had body cam on. You hear her crying, you know. But you force this man. Now, I'm not saying he's right, but you force this man to go into that mode. He's telling you, like, you don't want to do that. He asked one of the other people, like, can you please go get a white shirt before this even happened? Somebody like with authority, more authority than this lady. I think she was just a person, like, I don't know what she was there for. Because every time I got locked up, the person that was at the desk was always the CEOs. A CEO, but like probably a rookie one. He stomped her out. I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure she won't be working there no more because of the simple fact that the way he stomped her out, it ain't no. I'm sure he kicked her all on her face and everything. I mean, this is not for kids. I've also posted that, but he went crazy on her. Crazy. You can't push somebody to a point like that. And in my opinion, the way the way she was talking to him, he's still a man. Regardless, he's still a man, regardless if he's an inmate or not. And I noticed that in this world nowadays, some females they do that. They talk to men crazy. You know, you got them little soft men. Oh, okay, it's all right. No, it's not all right. You're not talking to me crazy. You once you let somebody disrespect you, especially in a relationship, in the beginning stages, like the first year. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe and hit the like button. That first year you with somebody and you let them start talking crazy to you, it's not gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop. They feel comfortable doing it. They're gonna continually do it. So when she kept saying to him, he kept telling her, "You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that." It's on Facebook. It's all over Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And she like turned around to get cuffed, and she sprayed him because she was in her feelings. He attacked her. Somebody said, "I'm kidnapped." I don't think that's true. And if so, you can post it here. You better post it to the people you're supposed to post it to. I don't do all that. I don't have no idea what you're talking about, and I know it's a joke. So he stomped out real bad. I'm pretty sure, like I said, like she won't be. If she is working there again, she ain't gonna have no. She ain't gonna play with nobody. She ain't gonna talk crazy to nobody. And if you met, and if she a female officer, but where was the males at? It should have been a male there. I know it have to be two guards at least for a unit, or you're not coming off a child or nothing. And I don't know what got him locked up. What he locked up? No, I know why he was locked up. He was locked up because I forgot his name. I know his last name Hunter. And you can either write him or help him out because he could have been on mental. I mean, it could have. I don't know why I'm stuttering, but sometimes I do that. He could have been a person that had to take meds. You woke him up out of his sleep, bothering him. It was the wrong time, wrong person. You think you know the inmates, you don't know them. He got 32 years. What he got to lose? She didn't use her brain at all. What do he have to lose? What they gonna give him another fight? You're not getting out. And you push this man to his breaking point. So y'all can go, do your homework on that. I just saw it. You can't really see the video. You can see it's posted, but you can't really see. You see him stomping her, but you can't really see like too much because she sprayed all that spray all over the place. And now she in a tough situation because she put herself in a man's shoes. Like I said, if you're a female, do not, I repeat, do not push a man to the point where he losing it. You can clearly see this man getting to the point. He's trying to stay calm. Now, of course, when he get the write up, he's gonna go to the hole. There's no justification for what he did. But like as a man, and you locked up, you're trying to wake up and do what you gotta do, wash off or whatever you gotta do, and you got a person of a somewhat authority stressing you, telling you she don't give a fuck about that red line you can't cross. In his head, like, well, you won't care what's going to happen to you. And he warned her several times, like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. But they looking at it. The officers, male and female, look at it. You ain't here for a reason. You gonna do what I tell you. No, you can't even control it. They have them COs inside of the prisons. You can't even control your own kids. Your kid telling you what to do. So you gonna go to a jail with grown females, grown men, and try to put your insert your authority on grown people, and you can't control your kids. Now, that ain't making no sense. I'm pretty sure a lot of them that be in there, kids run over them. I ain't doing that, mom. Fuck out of here, weirdo. That's how they talk to their parents. And then they go to the jail where these people come right off the streets or right mentally messed up, and you try to place your authority on them. You can't even run your household. Your husband out there cheating, doing what he want to do, bringing the chick right around you, or your wife doing the same, and you get in a jail where bad people at, these guys and these women done been in the streets doing whatever, and you gonna act like you like that in there? It's not for everybody. Control your kids before you try to control grown men and grown women. Like I said, I'm not justifying what he did, but it's clear to see that she pushed him. She pushed him to the breaking point. She didn't care about that body cam on there, because when she said, I don't give a fuck about that line, he respected the line. So, y'all can go look at that story. I don't know who else got it up, but let's look at man attacks female officer, 2 female officers. So my other thing I want to talk about was addiction destroying families. See, like I said, my last one, when I was coming up, it was a 40 in the blunt. And y'all can even go search the song by Dodds Effects called 40 in the blunt. That's all you needed to get nice. But when you bring it into your later years, you know, you start to, when you're young, it's cool, like not cool, but like, you might drink and, be a little bit out of hand. Put your hands on your chick. Then you got to deal with the consequences of the brother or the uncle seeing them coming. But that's a chance we all would take. We're only 16, 17, 20 years old, But when it gets to the point where you drinking and you partying and you black out. Oh, I heard one story. I'm not going to say too much about the person's story. But this guy was drinking and he went to sleep and he couldn't find his child. He didn't know where his child was at because he blacked out. So, like, there is a problem with substance abuse when you no longer see it as a problem. When you don't see it as a problem, not no longer, because a lot of people don't see it as a problem. They see it as escape. I'm gonna say we, because I was partying too. A lot of us do that. Like, say for instance, something happened, and I noticed it on the streets even when I was there. Like when something pop off, we'll turn up. Well, a lot of people will turn up. I wouldn't turn up because I need to be fully aware of what's coming, when they coming, where they at. I need to know everything. I can't be out there on. And a lot of people use it as a fear, like not to be scared. They on, so but that false courage, that alcohol. So when the problem starts, you're not scared at all because you got the alcohol in you. So are you really like that? Without the alcohol, are you like that? And the other substance like cocaine, those who snort, those who smoke crack, those who shoot up, those who do heroin, any addiction, you'll find yourself doing all types of things for it. Especially females, it's not good for them because they if they don't have no money, it's easy for them to get money because all they gotta do is say, yo, I'm willing to work for it. And once you get to that point, it's so easy to just go out there and make a couple dollars for the females because that's what it became. That's how you get your money now. You just go out there and this is people you probably would have never slept with in your life. But you don't put yourself to that point that you don't have no money. So now little Christopher and little Chrissy gotta grow up and hear about their mom out there with everybody. I remember when I was coming up, my brother was on drugs. And back then we had VCRs. We had, these young kids don't know about that. And he used to take our VCR. Every time my mom got a new VCR, he used to steal it. And he'd sell it. So we always came home like if he had to work with us that day, we used to hide the VCR. We used to wake up extra early and hide it. I don't know why we hid it in the house. We used to wake up extra early and hide it. And he'll find it and sell it. And he told me one time, he said, Mommy know the game. And I was only like 15. I'm like, he gonna constantly keep selling. So it was a lot of sad times. I remember one time he supposed to took his kids to the movies. He used to always mess his money up every time he got paid. And he came straight home. And I think maybe, then one time when he stopped, because we had to share a room, when he had stopped, he was grown. So when he had, him and his wife broke up, I think. I don't know how it went. I know he was back home and he had to sleep in a room with me. And she was like, my mom was like, is he even share a room with Richie or get the house across the street? He said, I ain't sharing a room with him. And he moved across the street and he been clean since. What's up, everybody in the chat? Like I said, if you're new, subscribe. But it was a lot of times when I woke up the next day and I'm like, what happened? Because I could feel a vibe. I could feel people that's looking at me weird. I'm like, what happened? I know something happened. And that's a bad feeling. You wake up and you don't know what happened. And it's from drinking. I'm talking about partying. I party. And I was one of those drinkers that I'm not just drinking one. But it seems like when I'm on, it's easier for everything. You got all this confidence in the world, like especially down to women. It was times I'm in the, I just be at coming out of the bar or going in the bar to like grab a shot. Cause I really don't drink liquor, but I would go in there and grab a shot. And I just tell the girl like, come on, you going with me. That simple. It seems like it's easier. It seems like you're having more fun, but you're really not. Because after like an hour, once the alcohol sets in, and you can't get but so drunk, it's either you passing out or the TV watching you. I had a lot of bad times drinking, and then a lot of times I come in and I curse my daughter out, talk trash to my son. It was bad. And then this is what happens this how it destroys families, because our pride get in the way. We'll do something that night or accumulation of doing things, and then we'll blame it on the family. But they knew I was drunk. They should have stayed away. They should have just left me alone, or the person, whatever addiction. We find an excuse to justify why we made people mad, or we embarrassed ourselves, or you force somebody to put hands on you that would never do that sober. And that's a coward move anyway. Because I would never fight a drunk person. I might push them down, but I wouldn't actually like hit them because it's a coward move. But you hit that man if he was sober? No, because he might whoop you. You know? So you simply just put yourself in a position when you're drunk or you on any kind of addiction to get disrespected. So my advice to anybody, once you're in that situation, if you do get your clean time, there's a group called AA and NA Recovery Group. It's on Facebook. Y'all should go check it out. That's where I'm getting some of these stories from. Like the man that woke up and he didn't know where his kid was at. I'm gonna try to do an interview on them. I'm gonna post it in there, and I'm gonna ask them can do an interview on them. And whoever would like, if they're on YouTube, they can go live with me. They just give me the information. I go live with them. And go to Facebook. Go to groups. Go to Cash App Me $1 group. The name of it is called Cash App Me $1 group. And the point of that is the more members we get in there, say places your electric is due or your gas is due, and you short, and if it's like 300, and we got 300 members, everybody will Cash App you $1. Ain't nobody putting up more than $1. And here's the thing, you don't never pay it back. You just got to pay it forward. When somebody else needs something, you got to be willing to cash out for $1. That's it. You don't lose nothing. $1. It helps everybody. But when you get in, you got to cash out me $1 and add 5 people. That's it. So don't be one of them people out there that's sitting there, you know you got a problem. If you waking up and don't remember what happened, that's the first sign. But that's a bad sign. But that was one of my signs when I knew I was like, I would drink another beer because I would have a hangover, and then plus I'm not trying to figure out what really happened. I'll go outside for like an hour and see if anybody approaches me. If not, I'll go ahead and drink the beer to get rid of the hangover. But a lot of times I drank that beer for the hangover. It wasn't for the problem. I'm gonna tell y'all a story down the line. We'll be talking about this more on another live about how I almost got killed, but unalived, being intoxicated. I'm on the highway, and I get a little bit on the highway. I'm just trying to get over, and they wanted me to get over. Alright, I think I got the lane. So, yeah, if you got a problem, I'm not here to save people. You gotta save yourself. And I know how fun it is, to be turned up. You start having like menage a trois, and if you got that type of female, you last a little longer. You're not shy. It's easy to pick up females, and then in this world nowadays, it's very easy to get females. It don't require much. All you gotta do is have a couple of dollars. When I was coming up, you had to have the gift of gab. You had to know how to talk. Let me see, put it by hands. You had to know how to talk to a female. It wasn't just, I got a couple of dollars, come on, you going with me. It wasn't like that then. And if you're just getting on here, subscribe to the channel. I just wanted to get this. I got a lot of stories. Like, I was drinking and smoking weed since I was 16. I'm 49 now. And a lot of people say, oh, you still talk like a YN. I'm around that type of crowd most of this. Anywhere I go at, even at my job, there's a lot of young people. And it's not talking like a YN. It's more like me. I just never lost my lingo. I just never always got my own words I say, or it's my own swagger. I never was that person that was saying like you say something lit, like that joint that's lit. Back in the day we said that's decent. You say it's decent now, they be like, what in the world is that? You know. But in order to reach the young people, you have to be somewhat like them. How can they relate if you're nothing like them? But you don't come from that cloth. That's why a lot of times, even down with the churches and the jigma, the mass jig, when you try to reach out to young people and they looking like, what you tell me? You're gonna tell me all the right things to do, but you don't know. Did I go the wrong way? No, you don't know the struggle. And you wasn't out there, even when they be like, yo, I was out here. It's the way you're talking to them. You're not reaching them. You gotta talk to like, look, little nigga. You gotta talk to them like that. Yo, bro. That's how you talk to them. That's how you reach them. You can't reach them talking normal. It's not gonna work. Yeah, it was another story. It was one time, right? I had told my manager at that time. I said, yo, I was working through the level. I said, I'm gonna have a menage a trois. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I told, cause I was cool with him like that, and I told him all this stuff, and then that day came, and I got so wasted. I did a no call, no show 2 days in a row. Then I had to look up this. Well, I did actually. I did take a pill for my back and my arm, but I had to make up an extra big giant lie to keep my job. You can't tell a big boss the truth no matter what. You can tell him somewhat the truth, but you can't tell him the whole truth because you'll be fired. So it's a lot of times that, like, I was going to get fired because of the party. I drunk about like 4, maybe 6 big 24-ounce cans of Still Reserve. I smoked like 7 backwoods. I took them all night. And I was so on that I couldn't even text or you're not calling your job. You ain't gonna call sounding drunk. I couldn't even text. I was so on I couldn't even see the name. To let my supervisor know, or the big boss know that I didn't make it in. So it was no call, no show. And then I'm so drunk again, I thought I had text him after a while. Never did. And the job I made on the books in my life, hourly. So how you messed that up? And then like I told y'all, I fell asleep on the highway. I was drinking, I was drunk, and someone told me pull over to the shoulder of the road. I pulled over, and I woke up, my car was smoking, and the can of beer was sitting right there, no state trooper or nothing. Pulled over and like, yo, you all right? Or get out the car, I ain't get arrested. And sometimes you keep gambling and gambling and gambling, that day gonna come. So I made my last day, New Year's Eve. I didn't drink after that at all. I haven't smoked. I'm trying to work on the cigarettes now, but and that's nothing. I practiced that. I stopped one day, like recently, like 6 o'clock. I smoked my last. I had money, was able to get more cigarettes, and I went off to the next day just to see if I could, like, not smoke. And I really think that's like mind over matter. It's not really that deep. But I don't think I caught the audience like I caught them last time. But it's just like a tester to see like what is this. Do this conversation, you know, alcoholism or any addiction, is there an audience out there for me to catch? And not be a little too early, because after this week I would not be going live this early in the morning no more, because I'm going to night shift. So I'll probably be going live around 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. I think that's a good time. That's a time I'm going to stay at for like the next 6, 7 months. So y'all got to get ready for starting Sunday. I will be going live at 8 o'clock sharp every night. I don't know how long this live is, but it should be long enough. It's like a half hour, I think. Like I said, if anything I said could reach anybody, a loved one that you know, share it. Share it to their page. And I will be having people, if they allow me to, that's inside of the group, going live with me. Of course, I'll be on my way to work, so they'll be seeing the road, but I will click it on me, like when they talking, and I'm listening to them, I'll click it on me here and there, so they can see that I'm into the conversation. But most of the time, it's going to be on the road. So, like I said, more to come, and I will give y'all an intro, like a short, maybe a short or a small, like a very short live, that y'all know the day and the time that I'm going live with these people that's going to share this story. And I'm also going to let them know that I'm a small YouTuber, so don't be expecting you'll get all these views. You might not get no views. But the point is, your story is out, and when people really do catch on to me, they will hear your story. Just be honest. Anybody that's listening and you want to share your story, that's like, and send me a message. You can message me on here and say I want to go live with you. I want to tell my story, and I'll set up a time with you in a day, and we'll go live. So thanks for listening and watching, and I'll be back with another one.